it's Monday on GazWeatherVids.com, which can mean only one thing. Yes, it is Europe Day every Monday on GazWeatherVids.com, or nearly every Monday on GazWeatherVids.com. We have a look at the weather for the coming week across the European continent. I couldn't do it last week because events conspired against me, so it wasn't possible to do it last week. But generally every Monday I will do the European outlook for the week ahead. Now, for a go-on video, I just want to talk about the advertising. There'll usually be a video ad overlaying my web videos at GazWeatherVids.com. Please play those videos. You'll be supporting GazWeatherVids.com if you do that. Also notice Gaz Shop is open. You can go through to amazon.co.uk from Gaz Shop. Just click on any of the Amazon banners and go and do your Christmas shopping there at Amazon. You'll be supporting GazWeatherVids.com at the same time. So exciting developments have taken place on GazWeatherVids just in time for Christmas. Also want to mention the website that I'm getting the charts from. It's weathercentral.de. You can find Weather Central on my links page, a very good German site. They have all the charts from all major computer models, and they have a extensive archive of historic charts going right way back to 1871. So please check those charts out for yourself. So let's go on with the weekend forecast, and we've got some big changes heading our way across Europe this week. Much cold weather spreading into many parts of Europe by the end of the week. It does look as though winter is going to be arriving in many places. So this is the setup for today. I've got low pressure here around the British Isles. It's been a horrendous few days in Britain with really disastrous flooding in a lot of places. It still goes on today, this area of low pressure, bringing more heavy rain. Actually, eastern parts of Europe under this ridge of high pressure. These central areas generally under high pressure, although we've got some unsettled weather still in these central parts of the country. Notice this nose of high pressure beginning to build down into the north of Scandinavia. That is signs of the change coming along later in the week. Now, much of the continent very mild today. We've got these warm upper air temperatures spreading up from the south across many central parts of the continent. The cold air really forced away here up to the far north across Scandinavia and into western Russia. So for precipitation, well, it's a mixed picture, really. We've got this unsettled weather over British Isles, heavy rain there. Got heavy rain extending down through parts of Germany into France, northern Spain as well. But in the east, actually, a lot of dry weather from Italy eastwards into these eastern, southeastern parts of the continent. Upper air temperature showing that the cold air really forced away to the north. Many parts of the continent, actually, I should say dew points, signalling that the cold air is forced away to the north. Many parts of the continent are mild today, excuse me, with those warm dew points. So for temperatures, these are the temperatures on the surface. It's quite mild, really, particularly through many parts of France. Temperatures there, perhaps up to double figures. In the east, temperatures, central and eastern areas of the continent, those temperatures are a little bit lower, but that's still really quite mild for the end of November. And it's quite warm here through the Mediterranean as well. But as I say, things are changing over Europe this week, and that change is brought about by the low pressure, the trough sinking southwards in towards the Mediterranean. We've got this build of high pressure coming out to the west of the British Isles, and we're building pressure here over Scandinavia as well. So we're starting to pull much colder air in from the north and the northeast through the course of the middle of the week. So cold air begins to sink down into the British Isles, cold upper air temperatures, and much colder air now starting to develop over northern Scandinavia and back in towards Russia as well. And that cooler air is pushing down through Germany, the Low Countries, into France and northern Spain as well. It's still warm through the central and eastern parts of the continent, although that warm air, the warm upper air, is being pushed further and further eastwards by this trough of low pressure. This cold air starting to surge down from the north and the northeast. Now, very unsettled through the middle of the week across the central parts of Europe, particularly through the central Mediterranean, so through much of eastern France, down in towards the Balearic Islands, Corsica, Sardinia, Italy. Lots of really heavy rain. Of course, much of this will be snow over the tops of the Alps, but on lower ground, really torrential rain, and could well give us some very extensive problems with flooding through these central parts of Europe. It's drying out finally over the British Isles. Looks like we're going to have a dry day there on Wednesday. Actually, many of these western parts of Europe are a little bit drier, although we've got this precipitation up to the northeast. Much of this, or all of this, will be snow in actual fact by the middle of the week, because it's turning much colder as we get through to the middle of the week across northern Europe. If you have a look at the dew points, we can see that very cold air is beginning to surge now in towards many parts of Scandinavia, back into Russia as well. Dew points not particularly low through these central areas, but certainly showing signs of it cooling off, and cooling off in the west as well, as you expect with that north or northeast wind becoming established. So temperatures are dipping away, much cooler over France by the middle of the week. Lost those temperatures into mid-teens. We're down into single figures for the British Isles as well, just 4s and 5s. Still quite mild for these central east areas, but it is cooling all the time. And then as we get through towards the end of the week and the weekend, and this is with quite a bit of uncertainty, but by then it does look as though it's going to be turning much colder across all parts of Europe. So very cold weather with this trough of low pressure bringing lots of heavy snow to Scandinavia, down into northern Germany and Denmark as well. Then we've got quite a bit of dry weather through the central, but it will be very cold and frosty. And the last of the trough really through this central part of the Mediterranean, the trough will be weakening by the time we get through to the end of the weekend. The warm air still hangs on in the southeast, so for southern parts of Italy, Greece, Turkey, perhaps into the Balkans as well. We're still hanging on to the last vestiges of that warm air, but really it's a much colder sea now across many parts of the continent. Cold air extending through France, Germany, anywhere northwards of that will be cold, very cold over Scandinavia, bitterly cold really, with lots of heavy snow. So for precipitation, well, all this over Scandinavia will be snow. Coming down in towards Denmark, northern parts of Germany as well, that's likely to be snow. There's likely to be the risk of wintry showers or maybe some snow around Britain and Northern Ireland as well. Heavy rain and still goes on, maybe some thunderstorms as well through the central parts of the Mediterranean. Well, let's go down to the southeast. Much of this actually is likely to be rain as well, because that's where the warm dew points are, still in the southeast through the Balkans in towards southeastern Europe and back in towards Italy. Got warm dew points there, but really for much of Central Europe, very cold dew points stretching from France, from Spain into France, into Germany as well. Severe frost up there, and cold dew points really across many parts of northern and western Europe actually indicate that any precipitation that is falling is likely to be snow. So it's bitterly cold through the central parts of Europe through the middle of the week. Temperatures barely above freezing for much of Germany, down in towards the eastern parts of France. Well, very cold up through Britain and Ireland also. Temperatures really struggling there at just 2s, 3s and 4s. And you can't see it, but it is severely cold up over Scandinavia and down into Denmark, with temperatures barely getting above freezing and a lot of snow falling up there as well. So this is the week really where we change from autumnal weather to wintry weather. It does look as though winter will be coming to many parts of Europe by the end of the week. Much colder, and snowfall certainly coming into the mix for central and northern parts of the continent. So winter now very much drawing in. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.